Hello, my name is Jahleel Heath. I'm a redshirt freshman. I play linebacker at the University of Washington, and I'm coming up on Only Touch Greatness podcast.
Looking for the most beers on tap? Great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B. Pub.
We got the best beers, steaks, chicken wings, nachos in town. Come see us at the John B. Pub.
The John B. Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say Hayes sent you.
Turn it up. The #1 sports podcast in Vancouver with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike are taking over the podcast scene in Vancouver. Get down or lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
Born in Portland. What was childhood like for you growing up? If my stats are correct, it was Portland.
Yeah, childhood for me, it was good, man. Like I was adopted when I was 3 years old into a very loving family, and ever since then, like it was me, my mom, my dad for a little bit, and my sister. And with just like a lot of, my mom made sure to teach me a lot about just about going into the community, helping others, all of that stuff. So I was raised the right way, and just like a lot of core values of mine are just like helping out in the community, being engageful with others. And so that's one of the big reasons why, I wanted to like come on like do this, because also one is networking, but two, it's just like a cool little fun opportunity to talk to other people and get to know them.
That's for sure. It's all about networking and making friends in the industry along the way. And anything that you need to plug in here, we'll get that going too. At what age did you start taking football serious and wanting to make it a career?
I would say I've kind of always, like, when I was like 3 years old, I told my mom, I remember I was sitting down, I think I was having like a tuna fish salad, but I told my mom, I was like, I want to go to the NFL, I want to play football. And so she like, okay, like, and she signed me up for flag football. But I think when I really started to learn what like work ethic is and really start working hard for it was my sophomore summer, like going into sophomore year. That summer was when I really like kind of like flipped the switch, and I had I had an older quarterback. His name's Colby Iverson. He plays quarterback at Linfield, I believe, and he kind of like took me under his wing, and he just like showed me like how to work hard. Like he was older, so he'd always pick me up to like go run routes and all that fun stuff. And then I just kind of began to fall in love with like the process of it all.
Did you play any other sports growing up?
Yeah, I played lacrosse and basketball, baseball, and then I did like a little bit of track.
That's probably American lacrosse too. That's field, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we play box up in Canada, so.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Not me personally. My co-host normally does. I just I just play the music for the team during warm-up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You played 4 years varsity, tight end, wide receiver, defensive end. Which was your favorite?
Man, like naturally, I just love catching the ball. Like tight end was probably a lot like the most fun that I had. So coming up to UW was a big adjustment, just like having to change my mindset to like, okay, I have to be defensive minded now. But now knowing how like football works and all of that like fun stuff, I'm glad that I'm playing defense just because it's really fun. And it's just like, I get to move fast, hit people, all that fun stuff. So.
Perfect. You led right into the next question, which is, what's the toughest part about that transition you've made to linebacker?
I think for me, it's just like getting my body in the right positions and I'm like being like fluid and like being natural. So sometimes I'll be catching myself just kind of like moving out there like a robot, So I think just changing that mindset of like, okay, like you can still incorporate some like tight end and like receiver things into it, like when you're making like a pass rush move and all that. But other than that, man, you got to like go strike a big offensive lineman. You know what I'm saying? You're not having little guys cover you no more. So it's like you got to put on your big boy pants and be ready.
So college is that first part where you actually get to choose where you want to go. Like you don't get picked, you don't get drafted and sent to a team. You got to choose where you wanted to go. What made you choose UW over the rest of the offers you might have had?
I chose UW, one, because it's always been like my dream school since 8th grade. I came up here for a lacrosse camp, actually stayed on campus. I was just like mesmerized by the stadium and just all the like stuff that like we're doing here and around campus. And then after that, like as I got older, the things that I kind of valued, which was like networking with people, diversity, all that stuff. I felt like Seattle and UW meshed really well just because it's not like a college town. So like you go take a light rail down to downtown 10 minutes. Like now you're from the campus downtown and now you're, in the city. So I really like that. And I think it's good sometimes just to be able to do that. Just like clear your head, you know what I'm saying? You don't feel kind of boxed in and stuff.
That's for sure. They got the best taco place up there on the hill when you jump on the train quickly. Yeah. It's called Union Hill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, up there on the hill, they got this great taco place. I'm actually coming to the game on Saturday, so I'll be there front row.
Yes,
I gotta hit my taco joint first though. Did Oregon ever give you an offer? I didn't see that.
I was talking to Oregon a little bit, but I never amounted to anything more than just like a couple of visits.
Okay. I just assumed being the closest probably to your hometown.
Yeah.
And what are you majoring in?
I'm going to be a communications major and then minor in business.
Okay. Who influenced you as a young footballer?
I would say it was really like all of my youth coaches combined. My mom didn't really my mom's a teacher. She was, so like I said, I was adopted. So like we always joke around like her kid would be like a kid going to Harvard right now, like probably doing something with, school education. So like me being like all about sports was like a complete 180 for her. But I think all my youth coaches really kind of like took me and my mom under like their wing and kind of like guided us through it because my mom didn't really know that much about it. And then I would say one of my biggest like influencers who just helped me a lot was one, my trainer, Ryan Wells. He's the one who's like really just helped me get like my body right, get strong. And then my 7-on-7 coach, Houston Lillard, he's the one who's just like, he's been there for me like through thick and thin. So is Ryan, just in the aspects of, just life. Like, I think those are like my two mentors really who really helped me kind of push for this football thing and helped me get there in ways.
Was there one football player that you kind of mirrored your game after or wanted to be like?
I wouldn't really say so. Nah, when I would play, like when I play like receiver, I was really just like mossing people. So I was like catching the ball over people and stuff like that. But other than that, no, there's not one person that I've tried to like mirror my game after.
Okay. And I mean, this wasn't one of my questions, but are you a Seahawks fan, being from Seattle?
Yeah. I grew up a Seahawks fan, living down there in Portland.
I don't know if you can see this, but I got a whole Seahawks shrine there.
That's cool. No, I love that.
Yeah, I got the autographed DK Metcalf on the wall and a few things there. A couple DK autographs on the wall. We actually had his dad on the show. What's your favorite sports franchise?
My favorite sports franchise, I would have to say, man, that's a hard question. I would say probably like the Seahawks or the Trailblazers.
Okay, of course, yeah, the Trailblazers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you have any nicknames? And what's your favorite jersey number and why?
I don't like some of my teammates be calling me Leo, just because it's a little bit easier to say than Jahleel. And my favorite jersey number would be probably 5, just because I wore that in high school. But there's no like meaningful reason for it. Just I thought it looked cool. I like the way it looked on me.
Well, at least your 50 now has a 5 in it.
Yeah.
So you're redshirting this year. What are you learning while redshirting? Like, what are you just soaking it in?
So I have my red shirt. I redshirted last year, and then this year is like my redshirt freshman year. But what I would say I'm learning just right now, just because like I'm young and I'm still in like the process of it, and I have to wait my turn, is just, man, like I'm just learning how it all operates, how football really operates, and just being in the same linebacker room as guys like Guzzo, Alfonso, Eddie, Chris Mole, Cam Bright, Carson Bruner, Drew Fowler, Daniel Harmuli, like Rock, all those guys. Like I really just be like just learning from them. I just be asking them questions all the time. I'll be watching like film on them, how they move, all that stuff. So I've just been just trying to soak it all in. There's so much to soak in because that's just like the linebacker aspect. Then, man, if you want to be like great, you go start looking into like how offenses run things and you start talking to the lineman, all that fun stuff. So I'm really just trying to be a sponge, man, and just soak it all up and just learn as much as I can, just film study, all that.
Yeah, that was one thing. It was tough to find some notes on you because you haven't had the like college career yet. But obviously that's coming. I did find a note though. I read on your NIL profile that you like video games. What is your go-to? What is your go-to game?
I would say I like playing, man, either like Madden or 2K. I think that's probably like my go-to game. I just like playing Madden just to like try out different things and defenses and stuff like that.
Okay, and on Madden, what's your team?
Man, right now it's the Chargers, man. I like the Chargers. That's my go-to team.
Okay. This one is a regular question we ask all the time. If you were having a dream dinner party and you can sit down with 3 famous people, dead or alive, who would you want to sit down with?
I would want to sit down with Barack Obama, Sue Bird, and LeBron James.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always go with Tupac, Seth Rogen, because he's from Vancouver, and I'm sure he would be a great laugh or two. And I want to see some eye candy, so I want to go with Shakira.
Yeah, that's real.
What's one thing that Coach DeBoer has taught you that stands out?
I would say, man, Coach DeBoer, I love him. He's a great guy. He's a great coach, and just, man, he's just brought great culture like here, man. And like, I think I couldn't pinpoint it on one thing, but man, just like the vibe when you walk into the stadium and when you walk out, you just feel good. Like, you happy to be there and you just want to work hard. And I think just the biggest thing I would say is just preparation, right? Like, I think everybody on this coaching staff really make sure and like hones that in. Like, his biggest thing is that like, we don't coach you until kickoff, which is a really good thing just because like you constantly getting coaching, like not, you know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna make sure that one, you really know it. And then two, that like you feel confident when you know it. So I'll just say like the preparation.
Okay, he does seem like a great guy. After watching the game the other night that was televised, and you could see him before the game, he was walking along, talking to everybody, all the players stretching in the end zone and patting them on the backs, and he just seemed like a great guy. What's an attribute or a few attributes that a good coach must have?
I have to say relatable and honesty are like the two biggest ones, at least for me, because, you know, it's easy to go out there and work very hard for somebody who you can relate to and somebody who you trust. And then honesty, just like coming to you guys, like no matter what the situation is, and just having conversations and stuff like that. I really appreciate me and him have had some conversations, just honest conversations. And that's one thing that I really appreciate from him.
So normally I come down for one game a year. Because it's a 2-hour drive, right? Vancouver's only a 2-hour drive north. So I come down it's usually Oregon I see, and the stadium's rocking. What is it like being in that atmosphere and being around, seeing how loud it was? I mean, that Michigan State game the other day, it was rocking.
Man, I was telling my mom this, like, man, like when I ran out that tunnel, like I had never seen that many people in my life, and just the atmosphere, like it just feels different. Like, it's something that like you can't even like explain. Like, everybody there is like rooting for you guys. It's loud. Somebody makes a big play, like people are going crazy. Like, I lost my voice. Like, it was a special moment to be a part of. It's definitely gonna be something that I remember for the rest of my life.
And I think it has a lot to do with the same mindset that we bring to the Seahawks, where you scream all day and you yell and scream all day, and you don't stop yelling. If you're sitting beside somebody that's not yelling, you better be yelling at them to get yelling.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's true.
Yeah. Especially they're all from Seattle. So speaking about the culture that's changed over there, because it's recently gone through a rebuild at UW, and so what's this new culture really like that you're enjoying?
I mean, I personally, like, because last year was my first year, so I can't really speak on what the culture was really about, because I just kind of came. I was only there for a year, and I know that like that's like the same, like Coach Lake was part of the same coaching staff that brought like UW to the college football playoff and all of that. So I know that the culture was really good. Last year, it just seemed, I don't really know like what happened there, but I would just say that like the culture this year is just, man, like everybody's together, everybody like is like talking to each other. Like it's just good vibes. I don't really know how else to explain it. It's just good vibes, and like we're all like working really hard. It's kind of like back to what I would assume the culture was like, but I can't really speak on what the culture was like before I'm comparing it to this one.
And I mean, I just seen recently I started following this recruiting site for Huskies recruiting site. It's an Instagram page. Don't know them personally, but I started following and I seen that they've been recruiting a couple nice stud players recently in the last couple days. So how is this new culture really helping recruiting?
They're always recruiting. You know, like we be talking to a lot of recruits sometimes in like position meetings. Like our coach will be calling the players and stuff and all that fun stuff. So they're very like hands on and make sure that they like feel a part of this family and make them know that like it truly is a family. And I think that's like the biggest thing.
Do you get to see the Huskies tailgates?
I don't. No, I don't. But I definitely heard that they were crazy. Those are crazy.
They're definitely better than the Seahawks. That's for sure.
For real.
Yeah, and that's tough. You think the NFL team should have the better one, but the Huskies, they've always put on a great tailgate. How awesome is it to see your jersey in the Huskies store and online?
Man, that's a really cool feeling. You know, just being able to have like my people back home be able to, you know, like have that jersey and just that like that's even an option. I know that I'm probably not the most sought after like Husky jersey right now on the team, but man, it's just a cool special feeling, and it's one of those things that like motivates you to really like, okay, like I'm here. Like, this is really cool, but now, like, let's try and go further. Let's try and work even harder. Like, there's more to come off that. So I think it's motivating and it's just special.
And there's still more jersey sales to come the more playing time you get.
Most definitely.
Do you have any pregame rituals or postgame?
Pregame, I just kind of, you know, I just like to listen to my music and go out to the field and just, you know what I'm saying, just kind of like embrace it all. Just, you know, like look around and just like be happy for like the moment that I'm in. Just thank God for another day, like being able to be here. But other than that, post game, man, we just taking a shower, grab the meal, we party in the locker room, obviously, after a dub, and then we go home.
Hey, don't go for like a nice steak or something.
Nah, none of that. Nah. Okay. They give us some good food though. They give us some good food after the game.
Oh, I bet. What is your dream venue you wish to play in one day?
I want to play in a Rose Bowl, man. Like hearing like some of the older players who got to experience going to it, like that just seems special. Like I feel like that's one of those things that like I grew up, you know what I'm saying, watching, just being a kid on the West Coast, and that's something that's like really big. So
that's for sure. That would be probably mine as well. What is your personal football highlight?
A personal football?
Maybe a game you had through your years of, or maybe a catch one day.
I would say my personal football highlight would be this one year when I played, I think it was my junior year in high school. We were playing against Liberty High School. It was a school in Hillsborough. I was playing tight end, and I ran like a little like crossing route over the middle, and I caught it. And then like somebody hit me. I broke off that, and then I was sprinting, and then two more people tried to tackle me. Broke off like that, and then like I was dragging like I think like two or three people like into the end zone. I really like that one. That one felt good.
Oh, okay. Hopefully, I can find that highlight somewhere.
Yeah.
Is it out there? If it's out there,
yeah. It's definitely out there. Yeah, I just don't know like what huddle highlight tape it's in.
Yeah, I'll try to find her. What do you think are the keys or the key factors in building a winning team?
I think it's buy-in. Like everybody's, you know what I'm saying, got to really buy in and trust it. I think, you know, being a winning program, like in the off season, like you do all these things, right? You do all this hard work, preparing yourself for the season. And if you're not 1,000% bought in, that's where things can go wrong, because like you can't really like show everybody that like, oh, this work is going to equal this amount of wins. You know what I'm saying? because everybody in the country is doing some same type of thing. So like you just have to really buy in, be on your P's and Q's, and just like prepare too.
Not getting as much playing time as you like, of course. But how do you stay motivated?
Working, like having practice in Husky Stadium, like that's motivation right there. Like just being able to play and practice in that stadium every single day and seeing it on game days, like that definitely like remotivates you every single day. And right now I'm just so like involved in the process that I think that's what's really like getting me like through, is just knowing that like this is a process. And you want to talk about like, oh, like the type of person I want to be when you talk about being an adult, like this is characteristics I want to have. Like I have to go through these things right now to be that person. So I think for me, it's just like being at Husky Stadium and then just knowing that like this is all part of the process and God has a plan.
It's such a beautiful stadium too, right on the water.
It is.
It's great. What's one challenge you've come across in getting to where you are today? Maybe past injury or a coach did cut you, or
I would say it wouldn't really be like one like thing that I really like think about. I think it's just always been sometimes like people didn't like really think that like I would be here, get here. So that is like one thing. But I think I just continued and like showed and like proved that like hard work and consistency, like you can do like whatever you want in this world. So I think really like that just shows a lot about Ryan Wells and Houston, my two trainers who I was talking about. Like they really just helped and pushed me, and like they were just like we'd have some hard conversations too sometimes about like, hey, like you got to do this, like you're not working as hard as you say you want to be at places like that. But I think like there isn't like an injury or anything like that. Like I broke my collarbone my freshman year of high school. So before that varsity season, I was like recovering from that, but I still got to play. So I wasn't as strong or as fast as I wanted to be. But other than that, like it's really been good.
Okay. So if I was Pete Carroll, why are you the best pick for my Seattle Seahawks?
I would say just because I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna just work and learn. Like I'm not one to have an ego. Really, like I know kind of like my place, and I'm like if there's somebody who's older and who's in front of me who I can learn from, like I'm gonna be in their hip pocket.
Okay, I got a couple more of these serious questions, and we'll get to the fun ones. How important are practices?
Practices are very important. They're like, man, like especially scout team, like you gotta give good looks. So I think just for like me, why practices are important, like I gotta go against like one of the best offenses right now in the country every single day, like giving them looks. So I gotta really like try new things and go against like the best of the best. So that's really fun. But then also it's just important because it's practice. Like you got to do it. So when you go out there on the field, you can be on your P's and Q's. So
I'm sure you got the best coaches right now, but is there one coach in your past that really helped you that you can think of?
Yeah, like I said, like my guy Houston, he's the one who really just helped me with just football, moving right, getting there, and then my guy Ryan Wells. Those are more so like trainers in my eyes.
Okay. If you were an animal, what would you be?
I'll be a cheetah.
I always go with a dolphin because I look like a dolphin. I got no hair and a big nose.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do you get to watch the game if you're not playing? Because I'm going to this game and I'm hoping to give you a high five or
I'll be on the sideline.
Okay, yeah. They don't put you in a box or something up top. So you'll be on the sideline.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now to the fun questions. Do you have any hidden talents?
I do not have any hidden talents, man. I wish.
Okay. And what are your hobbies outside of sports?
I'll just be playing the game. I like if I'm back home with like all like my boys, like man, it's a roll of the dice of like what we could get ourselves into. But like water sports, sometimes like some of my friends have like boats and stuff, or just fishing and stuff like that.
You remember what your first CD was?
My first CD, it was Replay by Ayaz, but it wasn't CD. It was like my first like favorite song on my little iPod Touch.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, you're a little younger than me. Okay, if you can go anywhere in the world right now, where would you want to go?
I would want to go to. I want to go to Paris.
If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pizza.
Okay, what's your go-to pizza?
I like pepperoni. Just like the classic kind. That's too crazy.
I hear you on that. I'm straight pepperoni as well. So the if someone was to make a movie about you, who would you want to play you?
I want Denzel Washington to play me.
Okay, good one. You got to go with the GOAT. That's one of my favorites, anyways. While we're on the movie subject, do you have a favorite sports movie?
Oh yeah, Remember the Titans. Easy.
Of course. Okay. Do you have a favorite non-sports movie?
Nah, that's like my favorite movie of all time.
Okay. Your top 3 songs of all time.
My top 3 songs, I would say, "Peace of Mind" by Miss Laura Hill. Anything by Drake and Blue Bucks. I can't really, put a finger on it, but I know one song for sure is "Peace of Mind."
Okay. Do you have a favorite comedian?
I like Adam Sandler. That's like my
Okay. Do you know what a Canadian tuxedo is?
Canadian tuxedo?
Yeah.
I do not. What is that?
Okay, so it's like all denim on denim. It's like you wear denim jeans and then your denim jean jacket. Mm-hmm. Call that a Canadian tuxedo. Okay. Favorite breakfast?
Favorite breakfast? I'll say I like a breakfast sandwich, like a good like breakfast sandwich, whether it be like on like a bagel or whatever it may be, like however one can make the best breakfast sandwich. Like I'm always down for a good breakfast sandwich.
Okay. Do you have a favorite Halloween costume that you ever was?
No, I was usually just like a football player. I'm not gonna lie, just like the easy one.
Okay. Deep sea or outer space, if you had to go to one?
Outer space, man. Like the deep sea be
scary shit. There's some scary shit out there.
Yeah, it'd be freaking me out.
Yeah. Spring, summer, fall, or winter, if you had to choose a season?
I like spring. I don't like when it's too hot. But I like when it's sunny outside.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee, but I don't really drink either.
Oh, okay. Cat or a dog?
A dog for sure.
Hey, if you had to eat pancakes or waffles for the rest of your life, which would you choose?
I have to go with waffles just because pancakes, you eat too many of them, like it just makes you feel sick. I feel gross.
Okay. Waffles, you can put the good stuff on top.
Yeah.
They fall into the little cracks. Early bird or a night owl?
I mean, I feel like anybody could really be a night owl. You know what I'm saying? You just have to stay up. But I like to be an early bird. Like I like to get up early.
Okay, I'm the same way too. I'm always up early. My age, if I'm lucky to make it to 10, 11 o'clock at night, I'm calling it a good weekend. Yeah. Okay, Friends or Seinfeld, if you had to watch one?
Friends.
Yeah. Comedy or drama movies?
Comedy for sure.
Halloween or July 4th?
Halloween.
Okay. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
To be able to read people's thoughts.
Oh, that's my answer too. Because I would love to go on. I'd love to be on like a date and just know what my girl was thinking before she walked out on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And if you were a flavor, what would you be?
I'll be sweet with like a little bit of spice. I don't know, like salty, sweet. Yeah.
That's a good one. I always go with mint because I'm fucking mint. Sorry to swear.
Yeah.
I'll edit that out. The okay. If you were to get in a time machine and go anywhere, where would you want to go?
I want to go to see like what the Jordan era was really talking about. Like see if it's actually as crazy as people be talking about.
See if he's actually better than LeBron.
Yeah, because I don't know. I still think LeBron's the GOAT.
Okay. Do you have a favorite road, barn, or city? Or stadium?
A favorite stadium?
Yeah. That you've played in?
I'll just Husky say it really does not get any better than Husky Stadium, man. I've been to Eugene, Oregon State, all those places. I don't think it gets much better.
You have a favorite sports quote?
I want to know I don't think this is a sports quote, but how you do anything is how you do everything.
Okay, that's a good one. We have a football friend. His quote, we usually take it as being ours. They can't beat you if they can't outwork you.
That's true. I like that one.
What's one reason you like to be a part of a team sport?
Just because the camaraderie, like the guys, like you get to really like learn how to like rely on people and trust them.
And when you come running out of that tunnel, who do you wish was there to watching you? If they're not there,
I wish that like when I get my time to like play, I want like just all like my people there who like really helped and like supported me to be there. So Houston, my mom, Ryan Wells. Shit, there's a couple of like teachers too. You know what I'm saying? Just like real like good people like in my life who really made an impact on me and made sure that like I got to where I was supposed to be.
Okay. You have a favorite song you listened to prior to competing?
I was listening to any rap really. I don't have like a go-to song.
Okay. How important is a young athlete's public image?
I think it's very important. You know, like I would just say that the way that kids will like look at you and like just like the interactions that I've had with like young Husky fans, like man, like whether you play or not, like though they still look up to you, they still like are mesmerized by you. So you definitely want to make sure that you hold yourself in a correct manner, and you know, like it's also like as a young athlete, whatever organization you're part of, like it's bigger than just like your self image. Like you realize, like you really representing like UW football or whatever it may be. So how you hold yourself, how you carry yourself in the public is just very important and very, you know what I'm saying, something you need to think about before you do things.
That's for sure. And nowadays, with all the social medias going on and people post things and they get in trouble 6 years down the road or 10 years down the road, it's just like we had one of these top running back prospects on the show, and he made a good point. You don't post anything you don't want your grandma to see.
No, literally.
Because my grandma would kick my ass. Yeah. Okay. So this weekend, I'm in section 139, row 1. I don't know where that is, but I don't know if that's on your side or what, but hopefully you'll hear me yelling for you.
Most definitely. I'll keep an eye on. I'll find out where that is.
Yeah, I'm in row 139. So.
All right, bet.
I want to thank you for taking the time and giving me your time on a Tuesday night here. And
of course, man.
And I hope all these questions were good and you enjoyed yourself.
No, they were. I did. I appreciate it so much, man. And I thank you for reaching out. My bad for not responding to you as quickly. I didn't see my request for a minute. So.
Hey, no, that wasn't too bad. You were great, and everything went well. And we wish you nothing but success in life. And you've definitely got fans in me and my friends for life. I mean, we love the Huskies, so.
Of course, and we love you guys, and we just appreciate you guys so much, man. Like the fans, that's one thing. That's one last thing I'll say is like one thing about Husky football that I didn't really realize until I was really in it. It's like, man, like the fan love, the fan appreciation, the way that you guys show out for us time and time again, really means like the world, at least to me, and I know it means the world to every single player because you guys kind of make like the boat afloat, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to those big situations, like third downs, like all those times, like big games, like, man, like when you guys are loud, like you get this feeling like, okay, like now it's time to really play. So it really helps us, and I really just appreciate you guys, and I'm glad that I could, help out in any way because I know that y'all do a lot for us.